Anyway. And yeah, because Candles is a 3D game, I saw those glitches. It's a 3D game, and 3D is a lot harder than 2D, especially for starting out with your first game, because prior to Candles, I've never made my own game from scratch. In the past, I would modify games, and one that comes to mind, you may have heard of this game called, this engine called, what was it? RPG Maker or something like that? Something along those lines. And I'm gonna get this dragon and go back. And the thing with that, excuse me. And
A word of caution, little one.
strawberry
Wait until
dragon.
you grow big, like me, before charging those large enemies.
Pink dragon. It's a strawberry dragon. I'm gonna call you Berry. See, this is what I mean. I say something, then I forget, then I come back to it. Oh, what was I gonna say? Shit, I can't remember. No! You are denied. Oh, that's right. The game that I made, with RPG Maker, I actually just edited a existing game. It was, I think it was a Pong-like game where you just have like a object bounce off walls and stuff. And this was a 2D animated game. So what I did, like, I don't have the game anymore or the program. I edited the ball to look like, what was it? I think I turned it into Luna P from Sailor Moon, the little thing that follows the pink hair girl Rini around, or Chibiusa. So yeah, I edited that, and
Spyro,
I hear
some big Norks up ahead are wearing armor. And in the ice cave, armor can make their feet very slippery.
And I put a board around with like little scribbles and stuff, and you can program certain icons or pixels to make a noise when they're hit, and usually it's just like a pong or tunk or something like that. What I did was I changed these little bumpers or little collision objects to 2D icons of my friends at the time, like the OCs, and I had it so their favourite song would play whenever that character was hit. If that same character was hit again, the music would stop. Pretty simple, pretty basic, but even that has a bit of coding towards it. And with Unity, it's very different from RPG Maker. He did. Yeah, there's quite a difference with Unity and, as I said, RPG Maker. Unity is quite flexible from what I've experienced. It's really helpful too, especially with coding with C# scripts, because that's what I use. And when you're coding with those, if you get an error, the game engine, Unity, will actually tell you what is up. So instead of just saying error, check your Windows, blah 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 blah, or blue screen or that sort of thing, it'll actually have some numbers listed, a code, and a little
Thank you for releasing me.
No worries, Kronk. He reminds me so much of Kronk from Emperor's New Groove. No idea why. But yeah, it will have, for example, it'll have the name of your script. It'll have error C112960A, something like that. And it'll have, what is it? It'll have like a number, a comma, and another number. I'm gonna run you over. And what these codes are, what that number is, like for example, with my recent error that I experienced, it was 117,6. And what that is, if you've ever used Unity, there's a program that comes with it called MonoDevelop. If you haven't, just picture something similar to Notepad or Word document or a text editing program. Hello. Yeah. So very similar, but basically as you're writing on the left side of the document, you'll have a bunch of numbers for each line. And the first part of it, so like I said, 117,6. 117 is the line where the error is. So it's saying, hey, your error is here. So example, I go to 117 lines down and then column 6, so move across 6 spaces, and you'll find your error. And the biggest or the most common thing that causes errors in scripting is parsing errors, especially if you're very new to Unity and you do get lost and confused on this for a bit. Go for you.
Thank you for releasing me.
No problem. Yeah. There's not many female dragons in this game, is there? Like, they're all voiced by men, but there's not many females, which is odd. I'm not doing a feminist thing, I'm just pointing it out. And yeah, so basically, what a parsing error is, on your keyboard, you know, just under the back key, oh hang on, yeah, under the back key, and you know that shape that's sort of like that, that's called a curly bracket. So when you're writing code, with that curly bracket, you need to enclose some codes or some commands or inputs with those. Like, for example, something basic. So to get like a response for something, haha, you missed. Like for example, if someone presses something on the keyboard and you're getting a response, you would put if curly bracket blah 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 blah, and then close off with another curly bracket. So it's basically making that closed little section like a little envelope, pretty much. And Unity is really good for that. And what a parsing error is when you don't close it off properly. And because you put in a lot of curly brackets in coding, I see you, Snowball. It's very easy to just not see it right away, and again that causes so most of the errors in I hear skis. That's what it is. Yeah. Another thing too, when I was little and I saw these up here, I had no idea how to get them. I thought I had to jump and get on top of there. It took me an embarrassing amount of time to figure out that I was supposed to headbutt poles. Yeah. Like, I died a ridiculous amount just trying to jump and go, wee! Dead. So yeah. Passing errors, putting in invalid code. And the thing is, even if you, like, on some tutorials, they might just put a copy and paste of the code on there. Yeah. And like for basic things you'll do that. And even if you put in, like, as I said, directly copy and paste, there will still be times where it'll go error, doesn't compute. And then you have to go through, and even when the engine tells you, sometimes you don't understand it. And then you have to...
Done well, Spyro. Some dragons thought you weren't ready, but I knew they were wrong.
I'm ready, all right. Ready for what?
I love these little interactions Spyro has with the dragons, and it's weird and sad that they didn't continue that in the second game. I mean, it could have been because of voice actors, like limited voice actors, but still, it's kind of sad. Anyway, as I was saying, you could still do the same, you could do the exact same thing and you'd still have an error. Shit! I'm sorry! Spyro, I'm sorry! And you can still experience the same issue. Carefully, carefully, carefully. Yay! And yeah, you can still experience the same issue, and even when Unity says error, error, blah, blah, and you get stuck, like what I normally do is I copy and paste the error code. I go to the Unity forums, paste it in and say, hey, I have no idea why it's doing this. I need some help. I'm very new, and well, not very brand spanking new, but I'm new to this. I have no idea what I'm doing. Why compute no work? And someone will be like, yo dude, this way you gone wrong. You need to fix the scale from 0 blah 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 to 1. And then you need to put in the proper axes. Then you need to put in this code. Yeah. And all that sort of stuff. And sometimes you get an answer right away, sometimes you don't. But it's all about trial and error with the game. Did I get everything? No, I did not. The chest. I forgot the chest. And that's the thing too. Yeah. And that's the thing too. Even when you're learning tutorials and everything, because you don't have someone right there with you, like a teacher or something if you're in a course, or direct or quick access, that's basically what you have to rely on. And again, sometimes you'll get an answer right away, sometimes you'll wait days, maybe weeks, even a month at worst. So yeah, it's just, and even while you do that, like post your question, you just play around, and sometimes I've found that while I'm playing around with settings and stuff and trying to figure, did I get the key? Did I? No, I didn't. Ugh. And sometimes you'll find, because I've experienced this quite a few times, when you post your question then keep playing around, you'll actually hit the answer or find a solution or a temporary fix or something. Then you go back and you try to fix it. Well, you fix it, but you go to your question, you put in your solution, and then select that as an answer. And by doing that, you're actually helping out other new indie developers, because quite a lot of people go there to ask for help, and by putting answers, even if you found them yourself, you're still helping them out quite a huge bit. Okay, here we go. I believe. And yeah, that's like, and that's for like quite a lot of things, even for some very basic, like, for example, let's look at Spyro here. So we see his model, right? His model, this is an animation. The actual Spyro, this is based on what I know from gaming, so not 100% accurate, but this is what I'm guessing is happening at the moment. So we see Spyro here, and he's got an idle animation that plays whenever the player isn't pressing buttons or anything. So he'll sit, he'll do his thing, and his spunky hair, and this goes uninterrupted while you turn the camera, because that's not moving the character. See, even moving now, he's like, what are you doing? But from what I've experienced, the actual player, no point screen, you don't see it. So the model Spyro and all the animations, this is based on what I've learnt so far, So pretend there's two objects where Spyro is. Spyro's model is one object, and the second object is controls and everything. So the model itself is just visuals, but the second object is the actual control. So we could have, I don't know, maybe sparks in place of Spyro, and moving this around, and you'd still have the same controls and everything. But the models are the visuals. Now that's how I was doing it when I was learning with Unity, when I was starting candles and everything. Did I get everything? Yeah. I know not a lot of developers do that. Like usually they'll just put code, and yeah, you do use the script to make the player move and such, and an animator and all that sort of stuff. But the way I've got it at the moment, and it'll more than likely change to just be a script on the player model itself. Okay. So again, the way I'm doing it at the moment is I'm using a prefab. So that's just like a how to explain this? It's like a I don't explain it. It's like an option or additional thing or no thing. Okay, just imagine like a little toy car, invisible toy car with controls and everything. So you put it there, and then you have your player model attached to the car. So as the car moves around, you have your model follow in the same direction, and you have the animation to respond to each button press, and you have movement, speed, variable, all that sort of stuff. Now most games now just put the script directly on the model itself instead of doing the prefab. Again, I'm doing it the way I am. As I said, I am with a prefab because I'm still currently working on my own custom script for movement, and that is really difficult. Because again, I consider myself to still be quite inexperienced with all this sort of stuff. And at the moment, that's a good way to test play everything, to make sure it all runs. And again, while it's not what everyone does, it's a good way to do it if you're good way to do it if you're just learning, or if you're still new, because coding is hard. Like, you need to be quite a pro to be able to do it without experiencing any hiccups, and even then, even the pros do experience hiccups every now and then, because coding is such a delicate and tedious process. And typos are a huge issue too, so that's why grammar is so important with them too. And again, with all this stuff being said and done, that's why you still look like an orange. Look, see the green hair? And the orange? You, lady, you're an orange. No denying that. You're an orange. With fancy sandals. But yeah, it does take a while, and again, because I have to watch so many tutorials, learn all these from scratch, and then figure out how to fix problems, because just about every tutorial I watch, there's always an issue or problem. Like, a script that is common that works for a lot of people usually doesn't work for mine, so I have to ask questions, I have to play around with the script, I have to try this, that, different settings. It's a big, huge, tedious process that takes quite a bit of trial and error.
This guy thinks he's so cool. You don't know what it's been like listening to him over and over. But I'll tell you one thing. He should watch his back.
Okie dokie. I want to save. Okay. Saving.